research, I'm really interested in kind of two related areas. The first is how we meaningfully engage parents in children's education. And that's really important, and I think that advances the field because it increases kind of the quality and the quantity of resources available to a kid to support them, especially when they're struggling academically or behaviorally. The other area of research that I'm really interested in is the implementation of evidence-based practices in schools. So I'm really interested in closing kind of that research to practice gap so that we can get more effective services into the hands of teachers who need them and are able to implement them in their classrooms.
So my area of research is around prevention, and I focus mainly on prevention of disruptive behavior problems in kids, just because those kids are my favorite. The ones that like to throw chairs and like really anger their teachers. And so a lot of the work I do is around working with teachers to create environments for places where those students can actually be successful, even if they bring those challenges to the classroom. And we do a lot of work around prevention of mental health problems in youth and trying to catch it early and prevent those problems so that kids don't have negative outcomes later on.
So I'm primarily interested in a couple different things. First, how we measure and support fidelity of implementation, which sounds like a fancy way of saying when we give interventions to counselors, to school psychologists, to educators, and ask them to do something new, we give them this research package where we say, hey, this really works in research. And then when it gets into schools, they tell us, but that doesn't work here. And so that's a problem if we spend a lot of time as researchers saying, hey, I worked on this for 10 years and it's really going to help kids regulate their emotions, but it's impossible for a teacher to use in their classroom. That's a problem we need to explore. So I'm really interested in helping people take something that works in research and make it usable in real life. And so we don't have this big research to practice gap.
So most of my research focuses on youth mental health and social emotional development. And I'm particularly interested in helping teachers and parents and communities create environments that can help all students be successful, all kids be successful. I think we have a lot of research that shows us the types of environments that are helpful for kids to grow and learn and become contributing members of society and happy members of society. And I think one of the challenges is how do we help adults provide those types of environments? And so a lot of my work really focuses on that intersection of what we know to be true and how do we get those environments to take shape in the way that we know are helpful.
My area of research expertise or scholarly expertise is in student motivation. To some degree, harkening back to my prior question, my lens on student motivation is how do we create really effective, motivating, adaptively motivating classroom environments and supporting teachers in really critically examining how effective their classrooms are so that we can get kids we can facilitate the opportunity for kids to be really adaptively focused on learning, mistakes as a natural part of the learning process, a real focus on improvement, rather than just having environments that are perhaps highly competitive or constantly reinforcing only the best achievers. Given our focus on working with at-risk youth or kids who are struggling, motivation is a major key issue that comes into play there when you constantly are experiencing difficulty. And the ways in which we set up classrooms, or ways in which classrooms can be set up, can actually exacerbate that. And so really looking at how do you have an adaptively motivating environment, including for those who are struggling, so that they are really looking at how do they make improvements, progress, really focus on growth for themselves.